Someone you know you can count on. Eyes to the occasion, get through the situation. I'll be your inspiration. Yeah, eyes to the occasion. No memories to share, no promises to make. Just take your love and promise me. And I feel so much, and the feeling when we touch. Maybe this one's meant to be. I'm gonna share the secret with you. My heart's been broken too. I'm looking for someone I know I can count on. Someone to rise to the occasion. Help me through the situation. You can be my inspiration. Take the heart to the station. It's changing now. Until we strong, I'll show you how. I'm looking for someone that know I can count on. From rise to the occasion, get to the situation. With each other's inspiration, I'm a combination. Eyes, give to me appreciation. I'll be your inspiration. Take to heart this invitation. And whoever held you will tell you the way I'm feeling. And one who ever wanted you try to tell you what I'm feeling inside. The only thing I ever wanted was the feeling that you ain't faking. The only one you ever want about. Wait a minute, can't you see that I would fall from the stars straight into your arms? I For the men who try to hurt you, he's explaining the way I'm feeling. For all the jealousy I cause you, snake's the reason why I'm trying to hide. As for all the things you taught me, it sends my future into clearer dimensions. You never know how much you hurt me. Stay a minute, can't you see that I wanna fall from the stars straight into your arms? I hope you comprehend. Too many hearts are broken. A lover's promise never came to me. So many words are left unspoken. The silent voices are driving me crazy. After all the pain you caused me, making up could never be your intention. You never know how much you hurt me. Stay, can't you see that I wanna fall from the stars straight into your arms? I'm begging you, love. I hope you comprehend. Wanna fall from the stars straight into your arms. I'm begging you, love. I hope you comprehend. A wise man once said, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts." This is Walk to Wellness with Alton Davis, right here on Afrikaap Radio.
This is Afrikaap Radio, playing the music 24/7. You know that.
All right, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you find yourself in the world. This is Afrikaap Radio. My name is Alton. This is Walk to Wellness, brought to you by All My Sports SA, and it's Wednesday. It's thanks to Al and Malik for a great show. I sat there bouncing in my seat, listening to the good tunes that the people have requested, and likewise, by request, I am back to carry on the conversation we had 3 weeks ago. And for those of you who have tuned in for the very first time, good evening, welcome. You've missed 2 weeks. I'm going to try and do a quick recap before we get into the meat of tonight. For those of you who may not know, this show happens every week. If you've just tuned in on my Facebook, my YouTube, my Insta, goeienaand, good evening, welcome. It's good to have you here. We have a show every week. You are welcome to tune in. You are welcome to join the Facebook, YouTube, Insta, or Facebook, YouTube, or Insta. Yeah, those are the only platforms we're using. And obviously live radio. You're welcome to drop your comments on +2706924595543. If you want to drop a comment on the inline in studio WhatsApp line, you can also join and drop a comment on Facebook, YouTube, or Insta. So 3 weeks ago, I asked the question, would you date yourself? And I was told by some of the feedback that I got that it was a very different approach to what people were expecting it to be. And the reason for that is I took a very different approach about dating. And the approach I took was we need to be comfortable with ourselves first and foremost to be able to want to venture into a space where we can go and date. So as a helicopter view, I'm going to just run through them quickly. Some of the concepts we spoke about and core values is honesty, kindness, empathy, respect, compassion, integrity, faithfulness, punctuality, responsibility, communication, humility, trustworthiness, faithfulness, patience, generosity, gratitude, forgiveness, resilience, and the creme de la creme, self-awareness. And we then went on to unpack all these different elements on various levels as to what these meant and how they impacted our lives in many different ways, which was a mouthful on its own, I'll tell you. It was a big learning curve for me, and it was very interesting to unpack some of the elements around my own personal space in terms of who I am, what I do, how I do it, why I do it, and what are my core values that determine how I go through life and what I do in my current space. And I had lots of time to think about it, and I hold true to some of those values in the sense that I still believe that those are the core values, not exclusively, but those are the core values that make who we are and what we do, how we do it, why we do it, when we do it, and with whom we do it. From there, last week we spoke about, because then we spoke about dating, and then I carried on the conversation around what is dating. And we looked at the different aspects of dating. One of it was casual dating. One of it was around just meeting people randomly and without purpose to a degree. We spoke about long-term dating. We spoke about friends with benefits. We spoke about and friends with benefits not only from a sexual perspective, but also from a work and business perspective. We spoke about situationships. We spoke about online dating. We spoke about speed dating. We spoke about blind dating. We spoke about friend setup. We spoke about long distance dating. We spoke about group dating. We spoke about exclusive dating. And we spoke about monogamy or open relationships, polyamorous relationships where you have more than one partner in a relationship. Yeah, those were the concepts of last week that I thought we'd unpack. And by way of introduction, that's a summary of where we were last week. I then had other plans for tonight. My guest has postponed until what date did she say? Let me just get my almanac here. My almanac is to the 3rd of September. So on the 3rd of September, we'll have the lawyer back here in studio. Natasha will be back, and we will unpack principles around grooming, children grooming, from a sexual predator perspective. And I think that's going to be quite interesting. So we'll see how far we get tonight in terms of the conversation. Some of these concepts are not new. Some of these concepts are refreshers. Some of these concepts are for you to understand who and what relationships are about. Someone asked me when they saw the ad, they said, are you doing this from a male perspective? 3 people asked me. And I said, no, I'm not doing it from a male perspective. Because they said, why are you not having a female in studio? I said, I'm doing it from an objective perspective in terms of relationships. Not in terms of, from a male perspective, in terms of a healthy relationship from a male perspective. That's a separate conversation. That's for another day. It may be a next week conversation. It may not. I reached out to a relationship counselor who has agreed to come on. So when that person comes on, we will have that conversation around that. And we'll have the conversation around uh, some of the challenges that she faces in her day-to-day practice and the implications of poor relationship management. So let's park that for now. Again, you're welcome to jump on the WhatsApp line +2706924595543 on my Facebook, on my YouTube, on my Insta. This is not a soliloquy of me sharing only. I'd like to hear from you. I'd like your feedback. I'd like your comments on maybe at what's happening in your space. So, as promised, I said we would have a conversation around relationships and relationship management. And for the first bit, I'm going to speak from an occupational perspective. An occupational perspective in terms of how we deal with life, how we deal with relationships, what are our strategies, what are our processes, what do we do in a work and business space, and how do we drive success? How do we get things going? I see on the WhatsApp line, Renee's there, Cecilia, Amanda, Angeline, Wendy, you're welcome. Good evening. There's quite a few people live on the Facebook and on Insta. So let's unpack relationship management. And I use that term broadly because relationships are about the connectedness and the interconnected relationship that we have with people in a broad space. Relationships, if you think about everything that you do, every single element of your life, they are relationship people and people connected to you in a relationship space. Whether it is your kids, whether it is your work colleagues, whether it is your partner, whether it is you going to the shop and buying a loaf of bread, you are putting fuel into your tank, you are connecting with people, and that connection is a relationship. Whether you want to accept it or not in that space, a relationship is the connection and interaction with someone. And it's how we manage that connection that shapes our interaction with each other. Remember, I spoke from 2 weeks ago about the elements of who we are, the elements that make us to be the people we are. There are elements which I haven't even spoken about, which we've spoken about before in previous shows around trauma and the trauma responses that people have. The trauma responses that result in certain activities that become challenging. If for argument's sake, we'll touch on this with Natasha, but if for argument's sake, I'm coaching someone and that person has been abused in any way, and I put my hand on their shoulder. I'm just using a random example. Put my hand on their shoulder in a particular way. It may trigger them into going back into that traumatic experience that results in them either freezing, fighting, or flighting. So having that as a base, we need to be cautious of how we engage with people at every point in our lives. Whether you get on public transport, how you engage with the people in that space, the people you sit next to on the bus. I know a particular friend who gets on the same bus every single day. They have the same seat every single day. It's not a bad thing. It's a routine, it's a relationship that they have built with the people on that bus. And when that is not there, that absence is felt. And often we take these things for granted. We just think, oh no, Peter's going to be on the bus, I'll get Peter, it's okay. Peter sits there in anticipation, possibly, of an engagement with you. Because you may be the one person that lifts Peter's spirit. For those of you who are new, my brain sometimes goes in strange and different ways, and I just had a thought now just on that statement. So, having said that, if you look at, so this morning my motivation was linked to what I've just said now, without me putting the two together. So let me read it to you. Depression, dissociation, anger, frustration, and pain are experienced by many every day. They live in silence and portray that all is well. Sharing love and care to those around may help alleviate this burden that they may be going through. It may be you or, and my actions that stops them from committing suicide and be willing to share their challenges and go for counseling. Make the decision today to be kind and caring. It may it may be you someday who needs it. Sure. My English are bad this morning when I wrote that thing. Um, but the point I'm trying to make is that our interaction with people is significant. We have no idea the impact that it has. For every one person we engage, and I've done the math and I've said it multiple times on the show, 11 people we meet every day times 11 people who go and tell is 121 people we've influenced. Just by 11 people. Multiply that by 11 people, it's 1,331 people that you potentially could influence today. That you potentially could influence today purely by your engagement with 11 people. Can you think of 11 people that you had a positive engagement with today? Or was it a negative engagement? That's about relationship management. That's about how sustainable it should be for us to get to the space where we trust people and people trust us because we build that relationship. We build that engagement for people to share. So having said that, let's move our focus firstly to the vocational space of relationships. Firstly, we need to understand who the people are in the room. We understand the people who we are talking to, the people who are working with, the people, how we find them. So understanding the stakeholder needs is involving the people, understanding and analyzing who are our customers, who are our partners, who are our clients, what are the points of that we have with them. And once we're able to have that contact point, what I often call a hook, because you got to have a hook to pull somebody in. It's like going fishing. Every person we engage with, we cast a line. And that casting a line results in a connection. In order for that connection to manifest, you need to hook the person in, hook, then reel them into a space where you are able to have an engagement. And how do you know what that hook is without evaluating who you're engaging with? Firstly, once you're able to understand who the person is that you're engaging with, you are now able to have a meaningful dialogue. You're now able to have a meaningful engagement because you know what the similarities are. You know potentially what the person's needs are. You know what their weaknesses are, potentially. So therefore, you know how to shape the conversation for the desired outcome that you're wanting to achieve, whatever it may be. If it's a business deal, if it's a relationship, if it's going to put in fuel into your car. If you are having an engagement with a petrol attendant putting fuel in your car, you know what the engagement is. It's a transactional engagement. You're pulling up, they are coming to you, take your key or not, open the petrol cap, pour in, close it, take your money, bye-bye, thanks for leaving. That is the sum total of the engagement. And often we take these people for granted. We take the person pushing the shopping cart for granted, the parking attendant. We take them for granted because they are below us. They have no social standing, so why do we care? Again, that impact that you have could be that lasting impact to save someone's life. Then we have the space in terms of personalized communication. When I'm engaging with you, do I understand what you want? Do I understand what your needs are? Am I able to transfer the correct information to have you connected, to keep that hook going? Because unless I have that connector, I'm going to lose you along the path and you are going to run away. You are going to disappear. We are going to terminate this engagement. Once I have that, I can now build the trust. I can now foster that good rapport that I've started to be able to build a solid foundation, to be able to build a solid rock on which we can build the relationship. Because we now have a firm foundation of trust, of communication, of honesty, of transparency to be able to share in each other's spaces. And once I'm able to do that, I can then go dig a little bit deeper and try and understand more about who you are, what your needs are, what your requirements are as a client, as a business partner, or as a potential, whatever you are to that person. Once I'm able to do that, I can then present an offering to you of whatever it may be. If I'm on the offering side, if I'm wanting to provide a service, I'm then able to unpack and look at you and put together a service offering to say, okay, I now understand who you are, understand what your needs are, understand what your shortcomings are, understand this engagement that we have. We built this relationship of trust, honesty, and commitment. So now let me go to the next level and fill the gap that you're coming to, that we are having this engagement about. Because once I'm able to fill that gap, I have that hook, I can pull it in, I can close the deal, I can have that engagement to be able to go to the next level. And the next level then becomes loyalty. The next level becomes commitment, dedication, focus. Because I've now committed to you, I've given you the proposal, you committed to the proposal, now it's about the implementation. It's about encouraging the repeat business. It's about encouraging the positive interaction. It's about engaging with me and you on how best to fill that and make that relationship better. But once we've done all of that and things are running, we need to be analyzing and unpacking on a daily, on a minute by minute basis to ensure that we maintain that relationship. We need to make sure that we are about that connectivity, that we are able to get people, that they are happy, that they come back for more, and that they are willing to invest more in whatever way, time, effort, money, whichever commodity you are dealing with. Shannon on Facebook says the connector here, but what about the transparencies? How do we engage this, especially of the first impressions in all facets of relationships as you described? Shannon, so once we have the connector, the transparency is about your integrity. It's about your commitment to deliver on your word that you promised. And sometimes in my business, I fail because I promise something, I'll give it to them on Monday, and it is Wednesday, and I still haven't given it to them. I then start losing my integrity. I then start losing the commitment that I built up, the trust, the rapport, because slowly but surely I'm eroding that commitment. And the transparency is about, in my case, tomorrow morning, sending my client a message and saying, I do apologize. I have not forgotten about you, but I've had a few other things that have taken priority, which is the wrong thing to say. But you kind of need to be honest as well, because unless you display honesty and you are sincere, you lose your client. So from that perspective, how do you put it in a nice way to keep your client engaged and comfortable to still trust you? Because you are open, you are transparent, you are able to share from a point of authenticity. And when you are on authentic with people, authentic, oh, when you are authentic with people, people see it, people feel it, people experience it, and therefore want to continue the relationships. When they realize that you are merely there for the quick buck, hasta la vista, baby, they're gone. They are gone. We don't want to have people in our spaces because we fear the integrity, we fear the authenticity we share, or not, and therefore we lose people. So in a workspace, we build from a customer relationship perspective. How do we build them? How do we keep them engaged? How do we keep them motivated? How do we keep them loyal? From an account management perspective, what do we do to keep clients and keep the relationships going? And how do we keep them wanting to sell us without us selling ourselves? Because often that's the challenge. You can't be, who said, as I said in Afrikaans, for those who don't understand, and I'll translate, but there's a saying in Afrikaans that says, Jakkals prijs sy eie stert. Sometimes it's not about you singing your own praises. Sometimes other people need to talk about you in a positive way. Other people need to be praising you. Other people need to be singing your praises and sharing your good news. Because that also breeds integrity. That also breeds opportunity for growth. And that also brings people like Gordon all the way from Southampton. Gordon, how's it? How's Southampton? So, and if I look at and just using Gordon as an example, Gordon and I met for about 15 years, Gordon, in Durban, purely by email. I was looking for a clearing agent in Durban. I Googled. I found Gordon. I needed to do some import-export transition documents in Durban. I got hold of Gordon. We engaged. Gordon then became a partner in Durban for import-export business. And eventually, when I think it was 2 years later, when I went to Durban, we had already done probably 5 million rands worth of deals during that period, without even meeting Gordon. Just telephone conversations, and the fact that him and I were both authentic in our business approach. We were both honest. We both had integrity to say, listen, dude, this is working. This is not working. We can make this happen. We can't make this happen because of X, Y, and Z. And the mere fact that we had that authentic relationship, I was able to trust him and go to my employer and say, Gordon's the guy we're working with. Without meeting the guy in any space or form, other than a telephone conversation, and the fact that he was open and honest about what he could do, and if the ship was delayed or his paperwork was delayed, he'd be honest and say, listen, dude, I didn't get time to do your paperwork. It's not going to cost you any more money. It's not demurrage, for those who understand shipping terms. You're not going to be paying demurrage. We'll get it through. We'll get it sorted. And he kept his word. And for me, that bolstered the relationship, and that gave me the trust to continue working with someone I didn't know from anywhere. To the point now that Gordon and I still have contact. And that is what I mean about authenticity. That's what I mean about relationship. It increased my customer, increased me, it improved me, my belief in Gordon's ability, and kept me as a customer for repeat business. It gave me the opportunity to share Gordon's business with other people when people were looking for a clearing agent in Durban. Gordon went above and beyond my expectations for me to feel comfortable in that he could deliver the service that I needed. And as a result of that, I gave him more business. And as a result of that, we grew our business in Cape Town and our business in Angola because of Gordon. Whether Gordon acknowledges it or not, he was part of that. So, in a nutshell, that's a concept around business relationships. I'm going to play a song, and then we're going to come back and move to a little bit different kind of relationships. We're going to talk, because we spoke about loving yourself, dating yourself, being better a version of yourself. Then we spoke about dating. So now we're going to talk about a bit of a romantic relationship. But before we get there, here's some music for you.
Said the fight don't make ends meet. It's a man of honesty. Oh, and now it's time. And the show can't be gone. Who takes every kind of people to make our lives about, yeah. Every kind of people to make the world go round. Someone's looking for a lead, and it's due to a king or two. Protecting what you feel right, fights against wrong and right. There's no prophecy. Honestly, know that revenge doesn't have to sleep. Whether yellow, black, or white, each and every man's the same inside. Who takes every kind of people to make what life's about, yeah. It takes every kind of people to make the world go round. Do, 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 do. Make what life's about, yeah. It takes every kind of people to make the world go round. Every kind of people to make what life's about. It takes every kind of people.
With tailored shuttle solutions, you receive efficient and reliable transport without the hassle of booking fees and downtime via an app. Their service is affordable and even better yet, woman-owned and run. They are also the preferred transport partner for Afrikaap Radio. Contact Charlie Peterson either by telephone or WhatsApp on 071 314 9133. Tailored shuttle solutions for tailor-made transport services.
Working Mama magazine is about supporting moms who juggle work, business, and raising kids. Our goal is to empower these moms, whether they have a job or running their own business. We want to create a community where moms can find inspiration, practical advice, and support to succeed at work, business, and home. We celebrate the strength of working moms, encourage connections, and believe in a culture that values the many roles they play in today's busy world. Contact us via WhatsApp on 071 871 6601 or email is fisher@workingmamaza.com. For advertising, email advertising@workingmamaza.com.
The one that I love didn't love me. That was the story of my life.
This is Afrikaap Radio, playing the music 24/7 on your dial.
A wise man once said, "Success
is not final. Failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts. This is Walk to Wellness with Alton Davis, right here on Afrikaap Radio.
All right, this is Walk to Wellness. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Walk to Wellness. My name is Alton, brought to you by All My Sports SA, all the way from Cape Town, live from our Afrikaap studios. We are having a conversation about relationships. We started the conversation around business relationships, and now we're moving into a slightly different space. And I say slightly because the principles of romantic relationship, in my view, are similar to that of a business space. However, we are going to unpack it a little bit more from a impersonal perspective. Let me put it that way. Impersonal perspective in the sense that it's not a perspective of a male, a female, or of anybody, but of the principles of relationships. And you're welcome to share your comments, whether on our WhatsApp line +2706924595543, on Facebook or YouTube, or even Insta, and join the conversation. Tell me what you think. So, relationships, once we have unpacked and understood who we are in our spaces, and we know what we want, and we know what makes us tick, what is a happy space, what we don't want in our space. We're then able to go and, as they say, play the field, to be able to find that one person that we hope would be someone that we can spend time with, someone that we can engage with physically, emotionally, spiritually, intellectually, and that's when you find that person. Now about building that space for that person. It's now this is the point where we get to where we've done all of those things. You've ticked all the boxes, and now you and I are now in a relationship, or we're going. In the old days, when I grew up, I used to say we're going steady. This is my girlfriend. Now people say no. Well, because we're older, you don't say it's my girlfriend anymore, it's my partner. So now you have a partner. So how do you treat this partner? What do you do with this partner? Whether it be a romantic partner or a platonic partner, what do we do? You have 12 different scenarios and opportunities for us to learn on various skills. So the first one is the most important by my perspective. My perspective is that communication sets the tone. And communication is about engaging with people on different levels in a space where they are comfortable in knowing what happens. And there's a thing called miscommunication, where you think you've heard what the person said, or you anticipate what they're going to say. One of my favorite idioms for idiots is listen to understand, not to answer. Listen to understand, not to answer. Listen to what the person is saying. Don't assume that you know what the end of the conversation is, and you've already planned what the outcome will be. You already planned what the answer is going to be, because you're going to end up with resentment. You're going to end up with anger, with frustration, because things didn't work out the way it was planned. Because you potentially are the weakling. You potentially are the person that didn't listen carefully to understand what your partner or the person you were engaging with shared with you. So make time to understand, stop and listen, engage with the person, have a open conversation, because often when people are having conversation, we are not focused on the conversation. We are running around. We are doing so many different things. at different times. We are often in the space where I'm having a phone call, I'm on the phone, and I'm busy doing something else because I'm trying to get through one or two things. And you miss part of the conversation because most of us, most of us can't multitask. We can do two things, yes. Multitasking isn't about how many activities you can do simultaneously. For me, multitasking is how many activities can you do excellently at one point. Because although I'm busy typing an email, I have someone on the phone engaging with me on whatever the conversation may be. Somewhere in that point, I'm going to miss part of the conversation because I'm too busy thinking about the email. I'm too busy composing the email. You can never give 100% to both. Your time and your effort and your energy is going to be split. So if you value that person in your space, give that person that valued time. Give that person that opportunity to share their thoughts. Often we in a relationship and we don't give each other time. Remember, I spoke about the 777 last week, where you give every seventh day you have a moment together. Every seventh week, every seventh month you go away. Every seventh week you do something. Make time for your partner. Make time to do things. Make time to sit and have conversation. How was your day? My aunt was telling me, I don't think she'll mind me saying this, that she and my uncle used to have bath time together, and that was their time for engagement. That was their time for communication. That was the time for listening to each other. How was your day? What did you do? And it was their appointed time to do that. Find a common space, a common time for the two of you. And even though we live in a world where we are caught up in life's activities, often where there are two children, the father's chasing and doing things with the one child, and the mother's doing something with the other child, and eventually they come home and they have dinner, do homework, get the kids to bed, and they're so tired they just pass out. But even in that moments when the kids are done and you are sitting having a cup of tea or a glass of wine or whatever it may be, let it be that moment. That moment where you connect with each other, where you sit and have a full-on conversation, where you're able to have a discussion on a range of different things. Because unless you are open and honest to have a commitment and a time to share, things don't work out. Amanda on the WhatsApp line says, I will say it again, my divorce ended with betrayal, but the biggest problem was communication. 100% Amanda. Angelina on the WhatsApp line says, that's the problem now. People don't value communication and time anymore. Al says, what else say? Bath time communication is a major life hack. Oh, provided you have someone to share it with. Oh, that's the next thing. You can't lie in the bath and have a conversation with yourself. You can, nothing wrong with it. I do it in the shower. I stand in the shower for 5 minutes at the start of my day at the gym, and I plan my day. I go through my day and I talk to myself and say, this is what I need to do. This is right. Right. Now I'm done. Now let's go. Let's make this day happen. So I'm not disputing that. However, in your partnership space, find a life hack, as Al says, a life hack where we are able to connect with someone. It may be sport. It may be going for a walk. It may be just sitting, listening to music. But what is that connector? What is that hook between the two of you that's going to reel each other in? What is that connection that drives you to want to do something together? Because after all, you've made a commitment to this person, whether it is in a relationship or in a marriage where you want to spend, I'd like to think, the rest of your lives with each other. So from that perspective, how do we build that connection? How do we build that intimacy and authenticity about each other? How do we connect so that they understand my passion, They understand my challenges. They understand my daily routine. They understand what makes me tick. Amanda says that's why, and that is why I will always encourage communication, no matter how insignificant you might think it is. 100%. But there's a distinct difference, Amanda, on in terms of communication. Communication is not a tool to be abused. Can a communication be abused? I think so. Communication can be abused when it is used against someone, or it is abused in the space where we try and explain it simply. If, for argument's sake, let me use this example. If, for argument's sake, I am in a relationship and I'm insecure and do not trust my partner, I want you to tell me everywhere where you're going. I want you to send me a photo. I want you to tell me who you're with. I want to have full access to everything you're doing. I want to be able to know where you are. I track you in every single way. That is not good communication. That, for me, as Amanda says, it's abuse through manipulation. Angeline says on the WhatsApp line, communication was taken over by TV, cell phones, etc. And it's sad. Yes, agree. Because we are caught up in that endorphin rush. We want people, we get so excited when our phone beeps. Ooh, who's sending me a message now? I wonder what's happening. Where we going? Who's this? What's that? Often, and if you look at my WhatsApp says, even though I'm online, do not expect an immediate response. Because when I'm with a client, the client is my priority because it's face to face. You sending me a message? Great. It's there. I will get to it when I get to it. Failing which, if it's urgent, call me. And when we get to that point of being able to understand the roles and responsibilities within our communication space and how we can use it for our advantage, not abused, it makes a significant difference. One of the other things we need to consider in a relationship is having fun. When you met me, we went out, we did things. Things were happy-go-lucky. We went for a walk on the beach. We went to the movies. Does the movie still exist? I don't know. We went for a drive on a Sunday. We listened to music. We went for an ice cream. When we get together, life changes and we become bogged down by responsibilities. And more so when we're moving together, life changes because now we are caught up in that space of we need to do dishes, we need to do cooking, we need to do this, we need to do that. Again, relationships is about compromise. It's a willing buyer, willing seller approach where you're not going to be happy all the time as the buyer because you're gonna not get the bargain you wanted. The seller's not going to be happy because he's not getting his full price or her full price. So you meet in the middle. Unhappy buyer, unhappy seller is where you want to be. Both people are unhappy, but they are connected and they're happy to do the deal because it's a mutually beneficial deal. And in the same space, we need to feel like we are loved and appreciated and that we can still have fun in our relationship. Because unless we are having fun in that relationship, it's not going to be worth the effort. It's not going to be worth the effort because I'm not going to enjoy being with you. I'm not going to enjoy having my time with you because it's boring. It's uncomfortable. It's unpleasant. I don't want to be in that space because I'm not going to learn from you. Again, relationships are about building commitment. It's about building trust. It's about building authenticity. Angeline says, I so agree. People will call and message all the time. And if you don't answer immediately to their standards, they complain. Agree. Angeline, also, what happened to the days of doing the dishes together? That's how you grow and communicate. No, Angeline, those days are past. Now they have a dishwasher. Nobody does the dishes anymore. So simple things like doing the dishes. Simple thing. If I get into a relationship, one of my pet hates is cooking. But if I'm in a relationship, I need to compromise if my partner enjoys cooking to say, okay, I'm going to be in the kitchen with you. You cook, happy days. I'll eat. And while you're cooking, I'll do the dishes because that's my happy space. So you do you, I do me. Together we do us. And the fun around that could be, I'll leave that to your imagination. There's many ways to have fun. And together we can grow. Together we can do things differently because your background, my background, collectively gives us a new perspective. It's like someone said to me, my husband and I have one policy. Whoever, it's irrelevant how much money each of us earns. Collectively, it is our money. One job, I will earn more. The next job, you will earn more. It's irrelevant. We collectively decide what we need to do, how we need to do it, and we have that line of communication to say, I actually like this pair of shoes. I want to buy it. And they are adult enough to be able to unpack it and say, yeah, we've got the money. Go for it. Or no, maybe not now. Maybe let's do it in a week's time when something happens, when this money comes in. Whatever the case may be. It's about that open communication. It's about having the responsibility and trust to be able to do that. It's about having the growth mindset to grow together, to be able to unpack and develop each other. It's about understanding the things we spoke about 2 weeks ago. Who am I? What is going to make me happy? And your partner's responsibility, in my view, is to ensure that I make you happy by fulfilling some of the goals, some of the dreams, some of the wishes, some of the values that you have. It's about fulfilling some of the dreams that you have. Because if we're able to do that and support each other, the trust grows, the relationship grows. We benefit more from each other as a couple because now we are growing together. We are doing things together. We are having fun together. We are also not having lots of fights because together we are building. Together we are conversing. Together we are developing. And therefore the trust then becomes better. Trust is normally assumed to be there until it is broken. So why do you want to break the trust if you have a relationship worth holding on to? Why would you want to destroy something that's good? Because once trust is broken, it's very difficult to get it back. It's very difficult to get it back. And when the relationship coach comes into studio, we will unpack that because that is her expertise. I'm going to park that one there. It may be next week. It may be in 3 weeks' time. When she has time, we are going to have a hearty conversation around that. In a romantic relationship, sex is an important component. Yes, it's not. It's not a taboo topic. Neither is menstrual cycles a taboo topic. Sex in a relationship is the ultimate form of intimacy. It's the ultimate form of connectivity to someone. And as I mentioned last week or the week before, when someone has been sexually abused, sex is often objectified in the sense that it is the trigger, it is the point of the challenge. Physiologically, psychologically, emotionally, it breaks people down. Because a sexual abuse is the biggest or the most popularly recorded abuse around. And often as a result of that, you don't talk about the other abuses, which is spoken about over and over on the show. So I'm not even going to get into that conversation about abuse. Safe to say that A sexual relationship often, or poor sexual relationship, could be as a result of abuse, it could be as a result of lack of information, it could be as a result of multiple things. Because I'm not comfortable with you in other spaces as my partner, I'm going to, and many people will can identify with this, I will withhold sexual intercourse with you as a punishment because of what you've done to me, or because we had a fight, or because of this, or because of that. Communication takes that and breaks that barrier down. Take time to talk about it. Take time to unpack it. Take time to deal with the frustration, with the disappointment, with the resentment. It's an open conversation. It's about dealing with the challenges that surround it. And often, because also we get distracted by, I think it was Angelina said on the WhatsApp line on +27 069 245 9543, that we get distracted by social media. We get distracted and we want that dopamine hit of instant gratification when our phone sends a message, when someone is trying to get our attention. We are often distracted by many different things that block our view in terms of, how would I put this? We are so caught in my way of doing things that I'm not willing to shift my perspective to understand someone else's. I'm not willing to engage with you to have a dialogue on what to do differently. And then we assume that that person understands what we're saying without us saying it. Some people call it in sync. Some people say we mind read. Sometimes we are in sync because we are so connected that we kind of know each other. We kind of know what's happening. We kind of mind read and understand what makes it work. But if we don't, we build that wall and we build that space where we lose each other and we have that negative perspective. Lives change and our life gets to a point where we don't want to be with each other. And we get to a point where we finally fight each other to a point where we disagree. And then this song plays and then life returns to normal.
Finally found someone who knocks me off. I finally found the one that makes me feel complete. Started over coffee. We started out as friends. It's funny how from simple things, the best things we give. This time is different. It's all because of you. It's better than it's ever been, 'cause we can talk it through. My favorite line was, can I call you sometime? It's all you had to say to take my breath away. This is it. Oh, I finally found someone to share my love. I finally found the one to be with every night. 'Cause whatever I do, it's just got to be you. My life has just begun. I finally found someone. Finally found someone. Did I keep you waiting? I apologize. I'll wait forever just to know you were mine. It's not what you wait. Isn't it I can't wait for the rest of my life. This is it. Oh, I found someone to share my life. I finally found the one to be with every night. 'Cause whatever I do, it's just got to be you. Oh, my life has just begun. I finally found someone. Whatever I do, it's just got to be you. My life has just begun. I finally found someone. Unforgettable, that's what you are. Unforgettable, though near or far. Like a song of love that clings to me. How the thought of you does things to me. Never before has someone been more unforgettable in every way. And forevermore, that's how you stay. That's why, darling, it's incredible that someone so unforgettable thinks that I am unforgettable too. Unforgettable in every way, and forevermore, that's how you say. That's why, darling, it's incredible that someone so unforgettable thinks that I am unforgettable too. Can't even mind nothing else. He changed the world for a good thing he found. If she is bad, he can see it. She can do no wrong. Turning back on his best friend, and he put her down. When a man loves a woman, spending every dime, trying to hold on to what he needs. He give up all his comforts and sleep out in the rain. But she said that's the way it ought to be. Well, the man loves I gave you everything, trying to hold on to you. I can't love. Baby, please don't treat me bad. Without love, I'm giving it soul. She can bring you such misery. If she played for a fool, he's the last one to know. Nothing eyes can never see. When I he can never wrong. He can never hurt. Yes, we
Are you overwhelmed by debt, struggling with arrears, or battling to make overdue payments? At Anton & Partners, we are here to help you take control. For over 30 years, our all-female team has been providing expert debt solutions, specializing in navigating debt mediation and financial recovery. We understand the stress, so we work tirelessly to find tailored solutions suited to your unique situation. We're the only company in the country willing to challenge reckless lenders and expose fraud. Our renowned 3-year investigation process under the National Credit Act helps uncover misconduct with the goal of having your debt written off and your credit record cleared. Once your debt is resolved, we work with the credit bureaus to remove defaults and blacklistings, helping you rebuild your financial reputation. Choose Anton & Partners, your compassionate, professional partner in becoming debt-free. Contact us today and take the first step toward financial freedom. You can find us at 8 Rivik Street, Cape Town City Centre. Call us on 021-202-9600 or email reception@anton.co.za. Anton & Partners, empowering you to regain control.
Working Mama magazine is about supporting moms who juggle work, business, and raising kids. Our goal is to empower these moms, whether they have a job or running their own business. We want to create a community where moms can find inspiration, practical advice, and support to succeed at work, business, and home. We celebrate the strength of working moms, encourage connections, and believe in a culture that values the many roles women play in today's busy world. Contact us via WhatsApp on 071-871-6601 or email fisher@workingmamaza.com. For advertising, email advertising@workingmamaza.com.
This is Afrikaap Radio, playing the music 24/7 in no time.
A wise man once said, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts." This is Walk to Wellness with Alton Davis, right on Afrikaap Radio.
All right, welcome back. If you've just tuned in, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever in the world you are. My name is Alton. This is Walk to Wellness, and welcome to the final 40 minutes of our show, where we're having conversation around the concepts about relationship management. We spoke a bit about work relationships. We now chatting a bit about romantic relationships, and I must just say that I played 3 of my what the regulars will call Tiki Pocket songs. When a Man Loves a Woman by Barbara Streisand, Unforgettable by Nat King Cole, and When a Man Loves a Woman by Percy Sledge. I've got another Tiki Pocket just because I haven't done a Tiki Pocket in a while. A Tiki Pocket is a show where I play music that we don't generally hear often, and it comes out of my little Tiki Pocket. So maybe we'll do a Tiki Pocket soon. I'm not sure when, but with permission from the boss, we'll do a Tiki Pocket. But we're not here to talk about Tiki Pocket. We're here to talk about love. Love in a different way. So I want to have a conversation. And some of you have first-hand experience and know about principles of the 5 love languages. And when I mentioned this to a few people this past week, they've never heard of the love languages. So I thought I'd add the love languages conversation to tonight and have the conversation around what are the 5 love languages? How does it impact in our romantic relationships with people, and so again, take a step back. We have the hook. One of the hooks is the love languages. One of the hooks to engage with people is to understand what makes them tick. And we're going to unpack the love languages developed by a pastor, if I remember correctly, Gary Chapman, who speaks and unpacks these concepts of the 5 love languages and what they mean and what the implications are of this love language conversation to be able to allow us to engage with people. More importantly, to engage with our partner, to make sure that our partners are happy, that our partners are feeling comfortable, and that our partners feel loved, appreciated, and valued. And for me, those 3 things, loved, appreciated, and valued, are the bottom line, 3 bottom line comments that any person in a relationship must say. I'm feeling loved by my partner because my partner can do X, Y, and Z for me. They understand this and that. I'm feeling valued because they can do and know what I want. I'm feeling appreciated because when I'm feeling down, my partner's there to help me. My partner will give me a gift. My partner will wash my feet. My partner will do this. My partner will do that. So having that perspective and parking those 3, loved, appreciated, and valued. Let's dive into the love languages. So the love languages is a way of expressing and understanding and knowing who my partner is. It's understanding what makes my partner tick on a different level. So remember 2 weeks ago, we spoke about who am I, what makes me different. And I purposefully didn't engage in this space because It's a very different conversation. So the 5 love languages, as an overview, is affirmation, quality of time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. Affirmation, quality time, acts of service, receiving gifts, and physical touch. And we're going to unpack all of these in a bit, um, between now and 10. And let's hope we get through all of it, because it's a mouthful. There's lots, and there's lots that goes through my head when I when I go through this, because it is a significant part, in my view, of what shapes a relationship. So let's start with the first one. Words of affirmation is exactly that. It's words of encouragement. It's words of support. It's words of positivity into your space. It's words that confirm, that support, that uplift, that enlighten. It makes me feel loved and appreciated and valued. It's words that, and often we use words, as I said earlier, communication can be a positive and a negative thing. In the same way, the words we use can be positive and negative, as we all know, and how it shapes us into the space of what it does. So, words of affirmation are simply, as an example, you are special to me. After all this time, I'm still crazy about you. I still want to be around you. I still feel like you are the most important part of my life. I still feel like I want to engage with you. I still feel like I want to hold your hand in public. We spoke about PDA's, public displays of affection, last week. I still want to be able to look at you and smile. Thank you for your smile. Thank you for brightening up my day. Thank you for just doing the simple things. I like the way you smile. Your face lights up. There's something different about you. I was telling the guys today about how lucky I am to have you as my partner. You know, I put on my shirt and it felt so good because it was ironed and washed. Those are simple words of affirmation. From a male's perspective, from a female perspective, is like, thank you that you took out the garbage. It's an act of service, 100%, and we're going to get there. But the mere fact that someone's acknowledged it is a word of affirmation. So often there's a combo between all of these. Not one are exclusive. Not one aspect is exclusive. And often we see these things in isolation. We say, "Oh, words of affirmation in a box, quality time in a box, acts of service in a box." No. As a result of the act of service, you can have a word of affirmation. Because we don't live in silos. We don't live in a space where things are in one little square box. Thank you for coming to fetch me today. Thank you for helping me hang up the washing. Using Angeline's example on the WhatsApp line of +2706924595543. Thank you for doing the dishes while I was cooking. It's acknowledging goodness. It's acknowledging positivity. It's acknowledging and making people believe and feel that they are loved and appreciated and they are valued. It's allowing people to understand that they are cared for. It's allowing people to want to be around you because you give them that sense of peace, that sense of love, that sense of appreciation, that sense that I want to be with you. because often we don't. Often we get so caught up in the world of make believe in where we are stressed and unloved and unappreciated by everybody else around us, that when real life happens, we lose focus of who the people are that are important to us. We lose the way we communicate with people because we are unhappy in the spaces that we are. And when we are unhappy in the spaces that we are, the words of affirmation disappear from our conversation. The words of affirmation no longer fit into the conversation because now I'm not happy with you. So why would I want to tell you something positive? Yet, those are one of the most important conversations to have. Because against all odds, when the chips are down, your partner will be there for you. In most cases. In most cases, your partner is going to be there when you feel like you're at the end of your rope. And even though things are going tough, your partner will be there. And understanding that one of your love languages is words of affirmation. I, as your partner, should be able to come alongside you and say, you know what, my darling, we may not have food, but we have each other. It sounds like something from a movie. And I don't know if it is because I don't watch movies, but that's what it is. It's having that connection to someone and making them feel comfortable, making them feel loved, appreciated, and valued for who they are, and that you are happy to be with them, irrespective of what they have. And it's about making them feel almost positive. Positive, maybe is the wrong word, but secure. There's the word. Secure in the sense that I'm with you. I've got your back. And that's what words of affirmation is. It's about giving you the confidence to know that I have your back. It's giving you the confidence and understanding that we are in this together. Because when that happens, I'm able to spend quality time with you. I'm able to want to bask in your presence. I'm able to want to engage with you all the time. It's about giving you my undivided attention because you're my special person. It's about giving you the time of not wanting to spend watching TV or being on my phone or going to do work in the garage on a car. Because I want to be around you. I want to spend that time with you because that is my commitment to you. And because that's what you appreciate. That in and around all the busyness of life and in and around all the busyness of what happens, all you want is my time. And that fills your cup. Again, we can't pour from an empty cup. We can't continue living a life of continuously giving. The love languages is one example of how we are able to fill the cup by engaging with our partner on what makes them happy. So one of the things is spending time. It's spending quality time on doing a range of things, whether it's words of affirmation, whether it's gifts, whether it's touch, whether it's acts of service. It's giving me that time to do things. It's giving me that time to want to spend quality time with you. It's giving me the time to put aside to say, oh, my phone's over there. And that's where it's going to be because it's us. It's you and me. It's our time. No distractions. Nothing's going to get in the way. I've made this time. It's all yours, my darling. Nothing is going to distract us unless a fire breaks out or things happen astronomically. I'm yours. Forgetting everything that's around me, I'm yours. And whether we sit and watch TV, because that's what you want to do, whether we go walk, because that's what I want to do, or you want to do, and collectively we agree, we're going to walk for 10 minutes, watch a movie, that's okay. We've agreed on the time. What happens in the time is our time. It's what we agree collectively. It's what makes us happy. It's what makes us believe that things are different. It's what makes us believe that we are going to do things in a space that makes us comfortable, makes us loved, makes us appreciated, makes us valued. Over and above that, we do lots of different activities. So one of the things we do, or you could do as a couple, is cook. Angeline spoke about it. Spending time in the kitchen, doing things together, connecting to do things what makes each other happy. Plan to spend quality time together, whatever it may be. If your quality time is to go for a walk, then so be it. If it's to cook and do things together, go for it. Don't let nothing stand in your way. It may be that the first 15 minutes of your day is spent connecting. So what's your plan for the day? Like I do in the shower, because I don't have anybody to have the quality time with. So my quality time is with me. So I stand in the shower and I plan my day. And I have conversation with myself. It may be that you do that with your partner. So to come full circle back, I've now built the trust, I've now built the honesty, I've now built the authenticity, and my person can trust me because I've given them my plan for the day. Not out of obligation, but out of love. I've shared with you where I'm going. I've shared with you what my plan is, because that's what we want to do for the day. I want you to know that wherever I am, you know. You know where I'm going, you know who I'm with, and I'm being transparent and open. So whether you do it in the morning or in the evening and you have the conversation, it's about putting that time aside, and it is time where you're not distracted. I couldn't think what's the other word. But we are not distracted to be able to engage fully with the person. There's nothing in the space that's going to block you. It's about having meaningful engagement with your partner. It's about sitting, having open dialogue on a range of things. We spoke about communication. It's about feeling that that person is there, present. It's having that self-awareness to know, to sense, to touch, to feel, to be. It's about understanding what makes you and me happy. It's about understanding what is of interest to both of us. It's about understanding how to change things. It's about having regular times to ourselves where we do things alone. If we're in a couple space, in a family space, let's put it that way, where we have kids, what are we doing to give us alone time? What are we doing if we are living with parents and siblings and we're sharing a house? How do we make our time? What do we do to make our time? How do we create that our time? Because that's important. It's about the quality of time, not about the quantity. Because I may only be able to give you, and we collectively agree, we got 20 minutes every day. That is our uninterrupted time. What happens in the 20 minutes, that's for you to decide and how you spend it. But if that's all that you agree to, no one can feel aggrieved because he's only giving me 20 minutes out of the whole 24 hours. But he's giving you 20 minutes for a specific purpose, to connect, to engage, to do it. You're not away from each other. That is your core time for the two of you to sit and have total immersion in each other, total engagement. You're going to be in each other's spaces anyway, because you live in the same house, as an example. But that 20 minutes is where you are going to pour out and have total conversation, total honesty, total transparency, so that you are authentic with each other. The third part of this is acts of service. And acts of service is what most people often focus on. It's the one part of this entire package that we think is and often causes the most problems, in my perspective. Because he didn't take out the debt. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. She didn't do this. She said she was going to do this. She didn't do that. Why? Why are you fighting over something that wasn't done? Taking 2 weeks back, when you met me, I was ready with these criteria. This is who I am. This is what I've done. This is where I come from. This is what makes me. This is who I am. Understand the big picture. In a relationship, we build the compromise around each other, not try to change each other. Because that's where we go wrong in a relationship. When you met me, this is who I am. This is what I did. This is the type of person I am. Now we go into a relationship. Now you want to change me to the person that you believe I fulfill your criteria, without understanding that you are now compromising everything that I am and everything that I do. Yes, there are compromises. I can't live a single life anymore. 100% agree. But you can't want me to compromise on my entire existence as to who I am, what I do, when I do it, how I do it. Because then I'm going to be a completely different person. And eventually we're going to get to a point where I'm going to be unhappy. I'm not going to want to be with you. Number two, you're not going to want to be with me because you now lost the love. Because I'm not the person you fell in love with. So it's all of those kinds of things that makes these relationships very interesting. And makes many people want to and don't want to be in relationships. I know many people who within 3 months of a breakup has found someone else because they cannot be single for too long. They have to have a companion. They have to have someone in their space. And I'm not going to get into the debate around that right now because that is another myriad, and that's a show on its own as to why people can't be single. Maybe we'll unpack that. Maybe. I'm just saying. So, in a relationship where there are acts of service, it is about the visible and invisible things we do. It's putting out the trash. It is opening the door for your partner. It's making them a cup of tea. Men, it's potentially putting down the seat in the bathroom. It's doing the lunch and maybe sticking a note and say, wishing you a happy day. See you tonight. A simple gesture could make a massive difference in a relationship. It could be taking me on a date. It could be helping me complete something I didn't complete. It could be doing the dishes. It could be you packing away or creating a surprise from your sorts. It could be I live with you. It could be doing the grocery shopping because someone doesn't like the grocery shopping. So I'll do the grocery shopping because that's something you could do. It could be cleaning the house. It could be taking out the trash. It could be lots of things. Lots of things that show that you care. Lots of things of lightening the burden of activity. And I use that term loosely because the burden of activity is about the things we do that other people can do for us. It's about doing things that will help us shape and be differently. It's about helping us do things that make things in a better space. It's about making space and time for someone in my space to do what I want to do. By creating the space of doing something. Stacy on Facebook says the important conversations are usually the most uncomfortable but so necessary to have. It's the simple things like taking out the trash, doing the dishes, because it's the acknowledgement of me in us, if that makes sense. 100%. Like I said, Stacy, it's about It's about doing the burden of activity. It's about making my life easier as your partner. It's about making sure that together we can have a smooth transition into the next part of the day because we're doing things together. Well, I'm doing it for you as your partner. I'm, as an example, because I'm a cyclist, I come from a ride, my bike is dirty. You hose down my bike while I'm in the shower. Totally random, totally unexpected. I'm not asking you to give my bike a proper wash, but a simple thing like that would blow my mind as my partner. That is an example of an act of love. That for me is in my world would have me eating out of the palm of your hand because you're doing something that you're dealing with something that I can do. And this is the important thing about an act of service. It's something I can do, but you are doing it for me to make my life easy. You're doing it for me because you appreciate me. You're doing it for me to make me feel, don't worry, I got you. It's, as an example, taking my cell phone and plugging it in and charging it. Just because you see the battery is running low. That is an act of kindness. It's an act of service. It's the little things that count. It's not the big things. It's not the big things. It's sharing things. It's sure. There are so many things. There are so many things and so many examples we can use about the act of service. It's about creating the space to allow me time, because time is potentially my love language. So by you taking things off my plate to do, it frees up my time to do other things. Again, I'm going to say that the love languages is not in silence. They're all connected. They all work together. They're all interlinked. Sure, we're running out of time. Like I said, I can get carried away with this particular aspect. From an act of service, there are many different things that we can do. Showing gratitude, showing appreciation for what we do, commitment through activities. The next one is gifts. Gifts are pretty simple. Gift is not buying me a Ferrari. Gift may be bringing me a chocolate to say, I know you enjoy a Holna. Here's a chocolate for you. Well, I know you like those pairs of socks, so you didn't buy it now the other day. Here you go. Simple. It's not meant to be an elaborate gift. It's not meant to be, yeah, it can be. Wow. If you give me a car, bonus. You give me a new bicycle, bonus. But it's the little things that count. It's the handwritten notes I spoke about in your lunchbox. It's about buying a new pair of earphones. It's about giving someone a personalized note. It's about giving someone a personalized book. So one year I decided to give a few people a book with their name on it. And I know a few people who still have those books as a Christmas gift. It's the simple act like that that endears you into their spaces. Again, it's not necessarily in a love space. It could be in a workspace. It could be a simple thing as sending someone a song. Do you know that this song reminds me of you? Or this song is a beautiful song. It could be you give someone a bunch of flowers because that's what they enjoy. That's what steals their heart. It could be taking them for a picnic, taking them on a bus ride, or even just in a car ride and stopping and buying an ice cream at the mall. It could be that you arrange, or someone could say, my partner could say, I need to do X, Y, and Z, and I need to buy this, this, and this. And within hours, it gets delivered because you listen. Again, right at the outset, we spoke about communication. And if we have the communication to listen, to understand, and not to answer, we will be more diligent in what we want to give and what we can receive because we understand what people want. And when we're able to do that, we build the relationship, we build the perspective, we build the feeling of loved, appreciated, and valued. Those, for me, are the three principles in any relationship. And then the last one is around personal touch or physical touch. And often people misconstrue this to be from a emotive perspective. Let me just see what Cecilia says on the WhatsApp line. Alton, you've highlighted very important points in the session for individuals over 50 that is set in the ways it is difficult to shift, especially when you have experienced disappointments over and over. However, if we can move past this, it would be nice if we could exercise the love languages. It will make a world of difference in our relationships. 100% Cecilia. Just because you're over 50 doesn't mean that you're cold and dead. The love languages is a universal concept for everybody. It's a universal concept of how life engages us and how we connect with people. We spoke about connectors earlier. We spoke about the hook. The physical touch is one of those hooks in the space. Physical touch is around engaging someone in an affectionate way using your body, using your eyes as an example. You could be across the room and I could wink at you as a gesture of, I'll see you later, or you are mine, as an example. But it could also be that I'm walking past you and I just touch your back, or I touch your hand in passing. It could also mean that it's time when you and I, using one of the other love languages of quality time, is you lying in my arms and we're cuddling and we're watching movies. Again, there's two components. It's the physical touch, it's the quality time. And while we're there, we are having a conversation. And I'm using words of affirmation. Can you understand how these things are interconnected and how they just kind of roll into each other? Physical touch is a language on its own. Again, it can also be used in a negative way, in the form of abuse, in a form of holding things back. Often we experience the physical touch from people we care. It could just be, as an example, as a friend, I walk and I touch your shoulder and I say, "Hey man, how's it going?" Or the most famous one that most people do is they give you a hug and they give you a kiss on your cheek. They say, "Hello, long time no see." That's a form of affectionate touch. That's a physical touch. It's a connector to somebody. It's an engagement to somebody by our bodies touching, by us physically connecting. One of the ways we can have physical touch is by massage. By just rubbing your feet, rubbing your back, having your head touched because you got a headache. I could be sitting next to you in a movie and holding your hand. It could be those kinds of things. It could be those kinds of things that drive me to the point where I want to spend more time with you. It could be the point where I want to give you my time. because you have shown me that you care. You have shown me that you love. You have shown me that I am worth it, that I am valued, appreciated, and loved. And when we have love for each other, things change. Things happen in a space that we least expected.
When I fall in love, it will be forever, or I'll never fall in love. In a restless world like this is, love has ended before it's begun, and too many like kisses seem to cool in the warmth of the sun. When I give my heart, it will be completely, or I'll never give my heart. And the moment I can feel that you feel that way too, when I fall in love with you. And the moment I can feel that you feel that way too, is when I fall in love with you.
That was Michael Bublé with When I Fall in Love. I hope that when you fall in love, life will be wonderful. I'm going to end with a poem I wrote a while ago. And I'll share it with you because I think it's apt for this time. It goes as follows. Love is feeling that you can experience, the warm fuzzy sensation that runs through your body, the smile that greets you when your eyes connect, the one who makes you feel like the whole world pales in comparison when you're around. It's the gentle way you touch each other. It's the way you support each other in triumph and defeat. Having someone to hold you close and feel their heartbeat. It's about knowing that they're there to care and support you forever. It's about giving everything you got, no half measures. Faith, trust, and sincerity is key to success. Understand your partner's love language and grow it. Those who have it, cherish it and grow it. Those who want it, be open to receiving it. It's never too late to experience love unconditionally. All we have to do is allow ourselves to experience it and bask in its fullness. If you've loved and lost it, if it doesn't return to you, it never was. Here's to believing a deep and new love will find you. My name is Alton Davids. Thank you for being part of Walk to Wellness. Have yourself an amazing week. I shall see you, if the Lord's will, next week. Ciao for now.
A wise man once said, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts." This is Walk to Wellness with Alton Davids, right here on Afrikaap Radio.
This is Afrikaap Radio, playing the music 24/7, no time.
Thanks, everybody. Ciao.